Hello, welcome again. Today we're creating a social media flyer for a fashion brand. Alright, let's dive in. So quickly, let's enter our size. Then you head over to your background. Give it a color. The color code will be dropped on the group. Put your images. Then import the first one. We're working with 3 images, so just import the second one. Yeah, position it. Ensure all of them have the same size. Then you import the third one also. I think I'm importing the same thing, so I'll just delete that and import this. Okay. And the next thing now is to position. I want this one having black to be the first. So let me crop this. So after cropping, increase the size. So increase the size. Yes. Then position it properly. Position to block it. Okay. Let me up down this. Yeah, but I think this internet. Let's import this money cube. Yes. Then position this at the center. But since our background is cream, has a cream color, I think this guy won't work. But let's leave that for now. And import your shape. Then increase the radius. We give it a color first. So I'll enter the color code. The second color code will also be sent in the group. Then give it a radius of 20. I think 20 should be okay. Yes, 20. So after that, just ensure that your shape is properly positioned at the center and it has a radius. Then you lock your elements. Yep. After that, then the next thing, you import another shape. Get a shape. This one this will be a rectangle. Just ensure that it starts from somewhere close to where that's the range is, so it's properly positioned at the center. Then you give it a radius. Then you give it the same color with the background. Once you're done with that, get another shape. You can just duplicate the shape, then edit it properly. Get another shape. Then this one will be a square where we will write what the services we are providing. Then you give it a radius. Ensure you're putting a radius that the curve of the rectangle and the curve of this square, this last shape you are entering has the same. Their edge is tally. Right. So after that, so that my hand is okay. Then you get another shape again. So this one will be contact info. So you make this one small. Then you see that the edges they're not alignment. So you just reduce the radius. Yes, we reduce the size and reduce the radius until you get something perfect. Then position the shape at the back. Then lock it so that it doesn't move from the point you positioned it. And after that, you give your rectangle shape a shadow so that so there's a difference between it and the background since they're having the same color. So after that, I don't like this. So you go back to your shadow. I'm trying to position it properly. You head over back to your shadow. Yes, I think this is okay now. I'm just trying to position for my elements so that they properly align. Then okay. I'm trying to make so in my shape now. So in this rectangle column, I want to create other items so that it will display other products I have created before. So you can give it any color. Just create another shape, then give it a radius, then duplicate it. Yep, duplicate it. I want 3 of my products to be reflecting on my flyer. So you duplicate it, then position it properly inside your rectangle shape. In the first shape created, then you just properly use your ruler tool to position, ensure they are all lying on the same plane. Queen contour. Increase the size. Ensure you're projecting the main message so that once I see your flyer, I know whose brand is this and what the brand stands for. Then you go to your font, and the font also will be sent to the group. So I will send the font I'm using is Agatha. I'll send the font to the group also. Then the next thing you do, you go to your center line spacing. You just reduce it small to like 15, minus 15. After that, then you give it a color. Ensure the color is similar to the shape, the other color of the shape you entered. No, not this. Then you make it black until I find the color. Just make it black for now. Okay, so we are done with our brand on the look. Yeah, so this is my CTA. So this flyer is a fictional flyer, so it's just for the sake of the tutorial. So this is my brand name and this is our CTA. Own the moment and own the look. We just reduce the size, so I use the size and position it beneath the brand name. Then after that, you use your ruler to ensure all elements are properly positioned, are on the same plane. They lie on the same plane. Yep. So after that, you you go back to your shape, the shape you are putting all the items you are selling. So I want the shadow to reflect downwards, so you just go to your, I think I've done that, then you lock. So as I said earlier, the image we are using is black, so our background is looking creamy, so we can't use two white images to cause a contrast. Let's use a black and a white kind of native outfit. Yeah, so I'll move this to the front now. Let's do that. So you head over to your, where you can move your elements. So after going, okay, I'm just trying to position my objects properly. Yes, so I want to move this navy blue. I want to move this navy blue native to the front. So you just come to this place, use your hand to move it upward, to position it at the back of extreme back. Sorry, at the extreme front of the other image. Go to your 3D shape. 3D shape. So okay, now let's dive in. We'll head back to our shape. So in your shape now, I said I want to put 3 of my items, what I'm selling, to be in the rectangle shape that's displaying what I said. Then after you're importing your image in your texture, then increase the scale so that it's properly, so that the first time it fills the shape the first time, then it's trying to increase your scale so that it fits properly in the shape. Then you enter the other one. The images will also be sent to the group. Then increase the scale also. You can see that the same effect that happened to the first one is also happening to the second one. You just increase this something else. Let's just work with this and see if let's work with something else. Okay, let's go with this. Yep, I think this will work. So increase the scale, increase the scale. Yep. And the next thing you do, you head over to stroke. Then ensure the stroke is different from the background of the where the shape was. So give it I think that's this charcoal black. You give it charcoal black, increase it to 1. Just make sure that it's in 1. Then you do the same to the other one. Position your, yes, I'm trying to position my elements properly. Yep. Then you head over to stroke. You give the second one also a stroke, the same color with the first one. Ensure the radius of the stroke is 1. Then you do the same to the third. Ensure the radius is also 1. Then you give them shadow. Okay, let's leave that for now. Let's try to create our item. Yes, so in this shape now, I'm going to write what I sell, as in the form of text form. You create a shape, give it a radius of 5, just reduce it so that it's fitting properly in the previous shape you've created already. I think this is okay. Then just position it, ensure it's well positioned. So I'll lock this, my brand name. I think it's disturbing. Increase the size so that the message is properly projected. Yep. So ensure all elements are well positioned and ensure there's hierarchy of arrangement. Nothing is overlooking the other and so on. So let's reduce this back. So you can use your ruler to, if you have your ruler, you can use it to check if all elements are well arranged, are well positioned, are on the same plane. Alright, so let's reduce the size of that. Yes, I think it's okay now. What I do, I'll use what I create in column. Yeah. Okay. So increase the size and position it properly on the shape you just created. Sorry. Okay, so let's give it a color. Ensure you use your position to position the text properly on the shape you created and give it a color that is different from the background of the shape. So after that, yeah, we're done with that. So let's copy the text and enter what we sell. Yes. Okay, so I'm trying to position this properly. I think it's yes, I think this is okay now. This is okay. So let's copy our text. So I usually advise that you ensure you lock all your elements. So since you're using your hand, so that once you're moving something, you don't scatter something else you've arranged. So you just copy your text and enter what you create. That's what you offer. See now, my brand name is shaking, so I have to lock it now. Let's lock it. It's Elite Events, Custom Agbada, and Premium Fabric Selection, Personal Style Consultation, and so on. Yes, so you just reduce the size, then position it properly on your shape, then give it a color that is different from the color of the shape, so that you don't cause a contrast there. Yes, let's give it a black color. This is not good. I'm having a transparent thread, so let's do that again. Yes, so I've given it a black color now, which is the color similar to the kind of charcoal black we are using. Then you head over to your ensure the color. Yep, the color is okay. So now you head over to your, let's finish this shape we started. I think this one is on 2, so reduce it back to 1. Reduce the shape back to 1. The scale, the stroke width, reduce the stroke width of the shape back to 1, then give it a shadow. So I'm trying to check properly if all my shapes are, if the stroke width of all the shapes are on 1. Yes, then give them a shadow and reduce the blur radius to 5. Yes, so reduce, you do for each of them. Ensure all your, that's why I spoke about hierarchy. So ensure all your elements are properly arranged, and whatever you are giving one shape should be, as if you are using the same shape, whatever you are giving one shape, the other shape also should have the same features. So reduce the stroke radius, the blur radius of each of them to 5, and you remove the Y and X axis. I just want the shadow to reflect on all angle around the shape. Yes, I think this is not okay, so let's increase the scale. I think this is good now. Yep. Let's add shadow to this. So the shadow is okay. Check for the second one. Reduce the shadow, but reduce the blur radius to 5. Reduce it to 5. Yes. Then for the first one also, you do the same. Enable the shadow, then reduce it to 5, and ensure all of them has the same color. Then we come back to our text. Yep. Okay, so I said you position your text on the shape and ensure that it is readable. So I want to make my shape a bit white so that my what I create can enter the shape. So you see that the shape now is bigger than my brand name, but I can make it in such a way that I use my ruler to measure and get and ensure there is balance. So here now I have to reduce my shape back so that it's not bigger than my brand name and it projects the message properly. So you can see that now. But now you come back to your text, you reduce it, then go to line spacing, increase it. I think this is not good, so we just have to increase our shape so that all the elements, all the text can fit in straight without having to start all over again. Yeah, so let's increase the size a bit. I think this is okay. Yeah, I love this. So reduce this. Yes, this is good. Then reduce the size. Let's go to line spacing now. Just add it up so that there's space to create readability, for readability to be possible. Yes, so this is good. Right. Yep. Now we are done with, you can see position if it is not well fit. We are done with what we create. We are done with our brand name. We have entered our CTA. We have few pictures of what we sell. I think you can still take your time to position each element and ensure there's balance and the hierarchy is okay. Yep. So I'm trying to create the shadow so that my background and the shape doesn't look as if there's nothing. I'm just writing on an empty plane. So I'll give the shape of what I create a shadow so that it differentiates my background from the shape I put what I create in. So you can see the shadow now. Yep. Okay, I'm just trying to position each element properly so that I think this shape is too big. So reduce it, then position it at the center of the shape, then ensure your text also is at the center of the same shape. So after that, then I think the last thing we are left with is contact info. I told you if you're dealing with graphic design, whatever you are doing, you have to save your audience the stress of going through lengthy message, that you are trying to help them decode a particular message quickly. So you pick out shapes, text that can help them, that can save them the stress of going through lengthy message and so on. So I'm going to increase the size of these shapes so that, because now my shape, this rectangle shape I created at the back is now giving me a radius which is equal to the shape I also created that gives me what I offer. So I'll increase the size and position each of them at the same time. Let's see how it works. You just use your relative size to increase. Just tap those and your slides. I think this is okay, but it's looking too big. It's too big. It's almost bigger than my brand name. So I'll just reduce it back. Let's reduce it back to 21. So go back, head over back to relative slide, then reduce it to, just tap your width, let it be on 21. I think 21 is okay. Then reduce the other shapes also to 21. Yep. Then you bring out your ruler, you position and ensure all of them are on the same page. Yeah, they are balanced, well positioned. Yes. So you put your ruler there. So the other day I showed you how to position your ruler. So if this is 11, then this side, the other place should be 89. The other one should be on 89. So this one is on 91. You reduce it back to 89. So you see that it's not balanced. So what you do is you head over back to the other one. Since this one is on, I think 12, then the other one should be on 88. Yes, so now it is balanced. So you tap the middle slide. Okay, this one is not touching the edge of the line. So you tap the middle slide, centralize it, then allow it to touch the bottom of the line. Then you do the same to the other shapes. Just ensure it's well positioned. Yeah, so we're done with that. So the next thing now is our contact info. You just create another shape, then So that contact info, you can make it to be smaller, since it's like once I see your flyer, I've liked it and I want to contact you, then that will be the last inferior message, should be the last message I will want to look at. It will be the last thing I want to look at. How can I contact this brand that sells this beautiful or this nice wares? So you create your contact info, give it a radius of, you just check the radius that will work with the other radius you've created before. I think this is not good, so let's increase the opacity back. Yep, that's good. Then this other guy, I think is not well positioned. Let's create a kind of film, a lens at the back of our, increase the size, then a kind of film, give it a color so that your work doesn't look plain. Give it the color of the charcoal black, give it that color. Then you I don't like where this film is, I don't like where it is, so I'll just move it to the other side. Let me unlock it, let's unlock it. Yes, okay, unlock, then move it to the other side. I think that side will be, oh, see why I say you should always lock your element, ensure they are locked, so you have to import that's the contact info, the client or whatever contact info you'll be using. I'll be using WhatsApp and X. Let me look for my WhatsApp icon. I'll send it to you, the element to be provided. So we just, after importing, reduce the size. That's the last message you are passing. You are trying to sell, you're trying to offer your service. So whatever you are doing is to project the brand name and what the brand offers. So whenever if the person likes what you do, then they can look for your contact info to contact you. They give the WhatsApp icon a color that's charcoal black. Let's increase this blur radius, the radius to 10, and see if it works. No, this is bad. So reduce it back to 5. WhatsApp icon, then position it properly on the shape. So the next thing you do, you enter the WhatsApp number. Yes, so that's my number. 070704359. So you enter the number, then reduce the size and position it properly and give it a color. Yes, this is good. Then you enter your shape. I don't want my WhatsApp icon to be placed on the contact info shape like that. So I'll create a kind of shape that will be beneath the WhatsApp icon. So you just create a shape, reduce the size, then I give it a color, then position it at the extreme back, not extreme, at the back of the WhatsApp icon, then reduce the WhatsApp icon so that it will be on the shape. So you move your WhatsApp icon to the front, you use your two-front feature, then reduce this, so give it a color so it distinguish it from the shape you just created. So increase the size of the shape a bit, increase the size, let's increase the size. Then reduce the size of the WhatsApp icon that you've done. Reduce the size, then position it properly on the shape. Okay, I think this is good. So the next thing, you can lock your elements. You copy the shape, since we'll be using WhatsApp and X as our contact info. You copy the text and enter the name of the brand as their X name. So let's delete this and enter our X name. So this, I said the flyer is a fictional one, just for the sake of the tutorial. I don't know my X name. Let me just use this one for now. Just use this. Oh, lot of images are here. So you just keep scrolling. See, your goal is to just import your Pinterest. So import your X icon. That's it. Depending on the contact info you are using. This is my X. So I'll just import it. So you see, this picture I just import is having a background. So there are ways to also remove background on PixelLab, but it will only work when there is 2 color on the image. When the image has only 2 colors, so you just go to your remove color tool. Once you click on it, you use your color picker to pick the color you want to extract from it. Then you remove the color, give it another color, then use it for, you can go ahead and use it for your project. So reduce the size and position it also properly on the shape created. Yeah, I think this is all, and we are done. So we have successfully created a social media flyer for a fashion brand. You can take your time again and balance the contact information. So let's use 25 spacing. So if the right side should be 25, then the other side should be 75. So yeah. Then the next thing you do is you move the whole element in the contact info shape. Then you position it properly. Okay, so just move it till you see that it is between the two lines. Yeah, I think this is good. So we successfully created a social media sales flyer for a fashion brand named Most Queen Control. Yes, then from here you can head over and save your work. Okay. still need to just balance, and after that you can head over and save your work. Always save as PNG and Ultra so that the quality comes